It's your boy at Big Game James _36. And this is at Big Games BS, part of Den Media Group, brought to you by thehumidor.com. Thehumidor.com, the go-to website for all things tobacco related. Type in Sports Den at checkout for 20% off. It's how I get paid. So y'all guys gotta make sure y'all go buy cigars. Inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, actually documented the best cigar lounge in Jacksonville by the for the Boss Awards. It's like Cheers with a mob twist. Everybody knows your name. Just great people, good vibes. Love my Goodfellas family. We over here be getting after it, having good times. Only time I didn't necessarily like us is last night. We went live, and I guess sometimes you got what they say, you got to do it for the ladies, right? Sometimes you got to do things for the ladies, and we had a ladies' night. They had a male review, and fucked around and forgot and pushed, and they went live from the Facebook page, and I pushed live, and I saw just shit I ain't really want to see. So like, threw me off, but it looked like the ladies had a great time. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. But yeah, so we do all kinds of stuff like that. Brunch on Sundays. We have barbecue Friday and Saturday nights. Saxy Pierre and DJ Pierre, aka Uncle, and Pierre, aka DJ Uncle Black, on the ones and twos on Saturdays. Eric Carter Band on Friday nights. We got live music, just a good vibe, good all around vibe. Today's show is going to be a little bit all over the place, but as we always start off with, we're going to start off with a little housekeeping notes. The housekeeping notes is if you're watching this on Twitter or if you're watching this on Facebook, please, you can keep the browser open, but please stop and go click on the YouTube because we need you to go subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where we get the views from. We were rich last Miles. We made 3 cents off of the last show. So I finally got my Google AdSense to work. And if you won't support the sponsors and shit, at least go fucking click the link. Watch it for like a half a second. Let somebody else pay. It don't cost you no money to do that. Like, it's literally free. So I need you guys to do that for me. Go, and then once we get my Big Game James channel up to over 1,000, we'll start adding unique content to that as well. But right now, we got some really cool stuff. The reels are monetized now, so you can go check out our reels. We posted one about Marcus Stokes that's doing numbers. Our Alabama NIL one was doing numbers before. But any kind of support, any kind of sharing, if you think that, we give unique takes and you think that is dope, please do. If there's some topics that you would like to have discussed or some show ideas or different types of things, hey, I'm always looking for ideas to be creative. But we need to get Sports Den over 2,000 subs. We need to get Big Game James over 1,000. Once we get over 2,000 subs for Sports Den, we're going to give $200 out, and every $1,000 will give 10% of that out. Same thing with my personal page. Now, something else that YouTube has done that I think is pretty cool, and this is if you want to get a little bit more involved. You want unique content. Some of this stuff costs money. Like this trip to Phoenix for the Super Bowl, it's going to probably run me about $5K in total when it's all said and done. I got to go to Indy. But for the opportunity to be able to produce unique content, if you want to be able to have something in there, hell, even if you want to have your name streamed on the unique content, go to the membership model. We've got 4 levels. We got $3.99, $9.99, $34.99, and I think it's $99.99. That's obviously big dog stuff. I'm not asking everybody. If I can get 100 people to donate $100 a month to me, that'd be great. That kind of stuff will go to the nonprofit. That kind of stuff will also go toward, we'll get you some gear. There's different levels. You can go read it. You get a premium chat where we will, do that. We may even do some shows where we do it completely raw and uncut, but you got to be one of the members to be able to get the raw and uncut show. And then we'll put our unique content up on those platforms. We'll always release it eventually to where it can go out to everybody. But some of the stuff will, like interviews. I have an interview with Mike Alford coming up. I'm going to ask Mike Alford some of the best questions that you've never heard asked before. That's going to be a members only thing because we're going to edit it. We're going to run it live in there. So you got to be a member of Den Media Group to be able to get that. Also, some interesting content like and once we get to 1,000 on Big Game James, we'll probably do that too. I'm actually going to create a cart. My goal in 2023 is to create a cartoon called MFTK, and it's going to be like Boondocks, but slightly fictionalized reality of what my life is on an everyday basis. So I'm tired of sharing this shit on Facebook. If you would share this on Facebook, that's great. I really want y'all all to go over to YouTube. Real talk. That's where it's at. Help me out by going and telling people to go do whatever they need to do to get to the show on YouTube. So I guess is that it? Did we push the membership? Did we get all the housekeeping out of the way? It might be something. Oh, we got the tailgate to when the show is done, the tailgate price is going up. The price of a brick is going up. Just letting you guys know, we're not doing that shit anymore. Like it's gonna cost more money. And also recurring themes happen in our show before we get into stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I was wrong about Arby's. I'm gonna say it's when you're hungry and there's nothing else to eat, it is just there. And it's like they're welcoming their ass. They're like the slump buster of fast food restaurants. They're just like, they're here welcoming you with open arms. Come here, get a beef and cheddar. And I was starving. I wanted to get a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit, but there was a line. We were running late and there was nobody in Arby's. So I just said, fuck it. And I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm gonna show you. This right here, best cookie on the market. Their Reese's peanut butter cookie they warm it up too. So that means it's love. And it's just literally one of the best cookies that you could possibly eat. So get that. But just so you know, it is February 1st. So it's a couple big things. It's National Signing Day, but it's also our month. And one of the things that I love to do is create history and let people know is share in on our history. And it's not just the stuff that you're not learning because Ron DeSantis and guys don't want you to learn about this stuff. Like, it is not just your traditional fictional things like John Henry. There are ladies and men in our culture who have revolutionized the way that we think. And most people blame white women for feminism and things like this, but we can really attribute the rise to women being able to get stuff for free to 4 African American sisters. In 1961, Beulah Ray Tibbs, Sally Jesse Sampson, Lula Bell Campbell, and Cora Dean Joseph were the first Black women to go to a club with no money. We have to recognize the first. That's going to be the theme of the show. Recognizing those who came before us to make sure that they can pave the way for those after us. Since this time, women have been expected to go to the clubs with no money and they've been going to the clubs with no money and having a great time. I've got a friend who is actually well off. We call her Doc. Doc is the only rich woman I know that can go anywhere and not have to pay for anything. She is blessed. She happens to look attractive. She happens to be very attractive. But the thing is that Doc does that. And then I bet if Doc, Sheena, Nikki, I gotta add another one. You can add any other chick of your choice that you know that follows me. And I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be some guy that's gonna leave with a paycheck gone. Some poor sucker. But bless their heart though. Got my guy Chris in here. I saw the spirit. I can't see it, but I saw the sporadics. What up? What up? What up? Those who are in the chat, please continue to be in the chat. Tell other people to join the chat. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. But we're actually going to talk about signing day here. Hopefully, make sure you keep on track, Miles. I'm going to try to end this at an hour as close as possible. But one thing that's also known that's been kind of is becoming synonymous with Black History Month is people trying to dim the light of Black history. And there's no pilgrim that Black people actually like, despite his flaws and things. We love this guy, but he keeps trying to fuck up the beginning of our month, and that's Tom Brady. Every February 1st, Tom Brady decides to announce he's retiring. But as my boy CJ Wilson says in our group chat, we say this every year. It is, it has been, and it will always be get your girl back season. Tom Brady only announces it when Black History Month comes in, and the only reason he's doing this now is because he's lost everything. The Buccaneers aren't any good; they're in shambles. He's lost his family. Go spend some time with your kids, bro. She's already got her lick back. She has treated him like every Black woman in a Tyler Perry film wants to treat their guy. She got with the equivalent, the white equivalent of the light-skinned gardener. She's getting her back blown out by the yoga instructor, which is nothing more disheartening than to know that your wife is getting her back beat in by the help. Like, it's not just your wife, the mother of your kids, the ones that he likes. So, like, Tom, go get your Tom. I'm not gonna ridicule you like everybody else, bro. Go get your family back, man. And I hope they make a Disney movie about this. But let's talk about, women in bad. Speaking of women in bad choices and stuff like that, let's talk about Tom Brady and what he's done over his 23-year career, which we assume that he's retired because he may come back, especially when they figure out that Tua is basically legally brain dead after having all these concussions. They're probably going to try to get him to convince him to go to Miami. He's a 7-time Super Bowl champion. That means almost 1/3 of his career he's won. 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time league MVP, 89,214 regular season passing yards. He's number one all time. 649 regular season touchdowns, number one all time. 13,400 playoff passing yards, number one all time. 88 playoff touchdowns, first all time. This man is, when you use real adult standards, he's the GOAT. When you use the made up fictional like NBA standards where everybody tries to put Michael Jordan over LeBron because Michael Jordan has won more championships and he didn't, excuse me, not just won more championships, he didn't lose. He was undefeated in the finals. Then you would have to say Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback of all time because he was 4-0 in Super Bowls. But 7 is more than 4. But he did not win. Eli Manning is 2-0 against him. Damn, we gotta get in. This is okay. I gotta send you this, Miles. Remind me, we got an extra thing we gotta add to our NFL conspiracy theories thing. And I gotta roast one of my good friends, a good elder of mine. He's a good friend. He's a referee, but he's also very sensitive when it comes to referees and things, and you can't talk about referees because they do no wrong. But remember, guys, it's always get your girl back season. Getting into the coaching carousel, DeMeco Ryans is making, again, Black history. The Houston Texans are trying to make Black history by being the franchise that fires the most African-American coaches in the course of history. They're going on their third African-American coach in a row. And if you know anything about the Texans, they're absolute hot garbage and in disarray. So he's probably going to get fired in a year or two. But congratulations to that. A lot went into that. DeMeco Ryans was picked over a lot of different coaches. Steve Wilkes, unfortunately, the coach who actually made the Carolina Panthers really, really good and put them in playoff contention, is possibly going to be the defensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. But another name that's interesting that's come up, and he is now the Denver Broncos head football coach. D'Amico Ryan was the guy who Denver Broncos wanted allegedly, but then he realized that Sierra's husband is ass, and he did not want to put his career up for grabs with Sierra's husband. He'd rather take his chances with a rookie quarterback in the NFL. But the Broncos, how did the Broncos get here? And is that Bleacher Report Gridiron posted this. From Ian Rappaport. The Broncos zeroed in on D'Amico Ryan. They secretly tried to lure Jim Harbaugh from Michigan, negotiated a Sean Payton deal, said fuck Sean Payton, tried to hire D'Amico Ryan again, and then when D'Amico said fuck you with Magic's dick, they decided to go back to Sean Payton, and this is why we're here right now. I will say again, if this is true, allegedly, this is a phenomenal start to our month. A black coach telling the Denver Broncos, one of the whitest organizations, fuck you guys, I don't want no parts of you twice. That is amazing. Love it. Even though they've hired a black, I saw what y'all did to the last black coach. I haven't been right since. But, black coaches do have a hard time, and I'm glad that guys are getting opportunities, qualified guys. But now, getting into something that's probably going to take a little bit of time, because there are things that I want to listen to and things that we want to play. This Super Bowl is going to be historic, and it should be interesting to watch and intriguing for a myriad of reasons. When you look at the two teams, they're almost mirror images of each other. You have two teams that both have both a 16-3 record up to this point. Both teams have scored 546 points. Both teams have something that's historic and has never happened before. Both teams have African-American quarterbacks. And this is the first time in NFL history that two African-American quarterbacks will face each other in the Super Bowl. We've had African-American coaches. Now we'll have African-American quarterbacks. And my Pilgrims ain't mad. My Pilgrims are absolutely cool with this. We fucks with the Pilgrims. We love y'all. Y'all are dope. But the whites, I don't know what's going on with them, man. Like, this is the whites are acting like Bishop Snyder group chats and on message boards. Like, and one thing that we have done here, again, and it was history in the making. It was actually funny because even at 1010 Excel, where I used to work at, they had never had two black people host a show at the same time until me and T-Wig had to go do something together. And it was crazy because that wasn't that long ago. First Coast News, what makes that so popular and what makes it so dope, especially out here in these streets, is that you got two African Americans that do sports final. And we talk about sports, and representation matters. And when it's historic, it's brand new. It's either monumental or something but it's big. The biggest thing is this has never been achieved before. So when something has never been achieved before, you should talk about it. And boy, do people not want you to talk about it. If you can go click on the my guy Chris Porter, got a lot of heat for literally just stating this is the first time that two African-American quarterbacks have played against each other. And if you click on the article, it'll go into the video. And I didn't know that this was such a big deal. Not that two African-American quarterbacks playing each other was a big deal, but I didn't realize that it was such a big deal to where people had to write. You had to do that thing that y'all do. You know what? I'm so angry. I know what I'll do. I'm going to write a letter. I'm going to email these guys. I'm going to show them. And what happens is now in the gotcha moment, you realize that it's going to get talked about, right? It's just like the lady who said when the Jaguars players knelt in London, me and my friends will never go to another Jaguars game. They lost us on that one. I said, America loves a winner. You're full of shit. And watch when they start winning, you're going to love it. When this happens the next 4 or 5 years, because we're actually seeing more and more African Americans get an opportunity, we won't hear about any of this shit anymore because it will become so norm that nobody would care. But if we can go ahead and push play. Damn you, Eddie Farrell, you fucking up my show. You didn't give me no bread for this. All right, now we got it. You're already
First Coast Sports.
Hello, everybody. Tonight, I just want to have a conversation with you, the viewer, in my new segment called Speak On It. Last night, several of you emailed me and even left voice messages expressing your displeasure with me highlighting a historic feat set to happen at Super Bowl 57. I reported that Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes will be the first black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl history to go head-to-head. Several of you took issue with me highlighting this historic fact, saying, why is race a discussion in this game? Why can't they just be two quarterbacks instead of two black quarterbacks? One viewer felt so passionate about it, he or she emailed me twice. Let's take a look at the email. Why would you start off about two black quarterbacks competing in the Super Bowl? People don't look at it in terms of color. Most of us are focused on two talented athletes playing their best game. Even Andy Reid said he didn't look at it that way. It makes me sick and it feels racist. Just saying. Let's address this email line by line. Here's why it's a big deal. One, it's history. And make no bones about it, I'm a journalist who would never ignore reporting historic facts or events. Back to the viewer email. People don't look at it in terms of color. Well, that's not true, because it was not that long ago that some NFL experts said black quarterbacks aren't smart enough to play the position in the NFL. The viewer went on to say in the email, most of us are focused on two talented athletes playing their best. That's true. But there are some, including me, who will be proud to witness something that's never been done before in the Super Bowl. Two black quarterbacks competing on the biggest stage in all of sports. Finally, the viewer wrote, even Andy Reid said he didn't look at it that way. It makes me sick and it feels racist. Just saying. While Andy Reid did say he doesn't look at it that way, he went on to say he understands why the question is relevant. Bottom line, folks, I cannot ignore this historic fact, and that this is relevant to a lot of people who are already dealing with attempts to quash history. We're back after this.
Okay. Let's just digest all of this. One, Chris is an incredibly intelligent man. He's incredibly poised. He deals like what I don't think people realize how much people who are on this type of platform, deal with these things on a day-to-day basis. I get told I'm stupid, I'm washed, I'm this, I'm a hater. It comes with the territory. If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. But nobody loves to scream racism more than people who profess to not see color, more than people who profess to profess that everybody else is thin-skinned, or as the term that I used to love hear people say, are snowflakes. Now, I love going back and forth when it comes to this, because I actually have thick skin and I love having uncomfortable conversations. And I also love making people squirm, because what is racist about describing something? Did he say white people are incapable of doing this? Did he lessen, is it one of a myriad of storylines that people are going to talk about during this week? Want to know what it also is? It's the first time the two brothers are playing against each other in the Super Bowl. The Kelseys. Are you going to send an email and a letter saying, oh, well, that's sexist. What about their sister? Bitch, what the fuck about her? Ain't no sisters there. Y'all always love to purport, wow, this is my safe space. I want sports to get away from all of this stuff. But you always cry and bring it up. Here's a novel fucking thought. Skip it. Ignore it. Don't pay attention to it if you don't like it or you don't. Like, what is there to not agree about what he said in his statement? Are they not? Is it because he's light skinned? Now, do you want us to? You know what? I will say this: you're not at Chris. You're not acknowledging the 50% of Kermit the Frog, Patrick Mahomes, being Caucasian because his mom is white. But then again, I'm going to play a video here. His dad is clearly something else. He played baseball, professional baseball, if I remember correctly, during the time when the Bishop Snyder group chats was popping like that everywhere. I just don't get it. Like, what is it? Like, when you were sitting around drinking your coffee or eating your dinner, eating your liver and mashed potatoes or whatever it is you people eat, and you was just vibing, right? And this came on. The news came on. Which I, quite frankly, am still baffled that so many of you guys actually watch the news. Every time I get recognized, I'm like, you actually watch me on the news. That's what sets you off? Like, just think about that. Just think about how bad or how sensitive your life must be. If the fact that the idea that somebody said just described the two quarterbacks are playing against each other for the first time and they happen to be black. Wow, I got news for the rest of this world is going, the rest of your life is going to be filled with opportunities for you to be pissed off and mad. Because I got news for you. It's still a lot of firsts. It's not my fault that your Mima and your pawpaw was so fucking racist that they didn't want to go sip from a water fountain from my mama. It's not my fault that my great-granddaddy was prevented opportunities to be able to buy homes and hang out with you guys. It's also not my fault that I don't know the Irish side of my family, man. I wouldn't wear kilts and shit. And my bad. Is that? I apologize. I didn't know. I was ignorant. My fault. Whatever the Irish people do, they eat potatoes, right? I like whiskey. I want to know why I have such a propensity for Irish whiskey.
There we go.
I love Macallan. They don't invite us to the family reunions. I'm sorry. I only know this black side of my family. What do you mean, James? I don't. I know they're not teaching us this because it's called woke, but I don't know if you realize this or not. But a lot of us black people, the fresh Africans are really dark. And my coffee complexion. And what happened was when we got over here, you know, some of the people who, not saying it was your people, but some of the other people saw the thick lips, big booties, and hips and said, man, I got to pour a little creamer in that. And then what happened was some of us got progressively lighter. So like I have to break this down to them, like, you know, because they don't act like this shit. Like, oh, your hair is so much straighter. It's not as coarse as the other ones. That's because Master was having a great time with my great Mima or whoever it was down the line. Hell, my great granddaddy could pass. Like, if you were the first person in your family to graduate high school, isn't that an accomplishment? I mean, graduate college, I'll say that. Like, most of y'all should have people who graduate high school. Like, if the first white man won the international spades tournament, would black people be upset that why you couldn't just be a regular spades player? No, it would be history because we're not used to white people playing spades. That's what makes it a talking point. It's going to be a great game, though.
And we support white people in black endeavors, just like white kids who are marching band at HBCU.
Always just love that shit. What's the white? We call it Blue Eye Soul. I guess you're wondering where I've been. And what you won't do for love. I thought that was a black man.
White?
He is extremely white.
Wow.
It now this might be an ist, lady. Don't write me the email, but it hurt me for a little bit. It hurt me, but then I was just like, man, my dude, John B, someone to love, John B got a fade. Do you know how the sisters was loving John B? John B was out there going blow for blow with Babyface, one of the best singers of our lifetime.
Fact.
As a young white man, too. Like he had been through some things. You know how many black people love Michael McDonald? Just love us. That's all you got to do, man. Just love it. Revel in it. You know what I'm going to say when I see two Africans like in the NBA finals? I'm going to be like, damn, that's two Africans. I'm not going to say, why can't they just be basketball players? No, because they're two fucking Africans. If you see two midgets do something, you're going to say it's two midgets. You're going to describe things. I don't know what you people think. We have descriptors for a reason. But let's talk about it in the other part of it. Let's do this. Because I think a lot of you, and we talked about this before on the show, Americans lack the mental capacity because our educational system is nowhere near as good as what we think it is. Most of us comprehend on a 4th grade level. And we use words that we think have a certain meaning, but they don't. It's character. What is racist? There's an adjective and then there's a noun. So the way Chris was using it just depends on your level of comprehension. If you believe that it was a noun or a person, or adjective. The person was saying it in an adjective form, but when you describe it, you may say that person is a racist as a noun because that person is a racist. But like, what is the adjective? Characterized by showing prejudice. Did he show prejudice in that comment? I don't think Chris one time said, this is a terrible moment for white people or a terrible moment for black people or white boys put on notice. Now, if Chris would have said that, white quarterbacks, you put on notice because we got two brothers in the Super Bowl. That's kind of racist. Discrimination. I don't think anybody was discriminated against, and that's antagonism against a person and people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. Again, I don't think he was antagonistic. Obviously, I don't know. It depends on if you're British or not. Okay, so we got that part out of the way. So just because maybe the person did not know what racist actually meant. As a noun, a person who is prejudiced against or toward a people based on bias of their membership in a particular group. I don't think he was that. And Chris actually runs. And the coolest thing about race, like about talking about race, is that we do find out more about each other than we don't. You know what I found most of the time in talking about it? That we all have more in common than what we think. Sometimes it's a Southern thing. Sometimes it's a Northern thing. You might like big booty women. I do too. Southern women got big booties. Shit happens. But I just don't understand about IST. And the only reason I learned this stuff is because people love to tell me what the problem is. Who's 345 Beast? What's up? I don't know who you are, but you said, what's up, coach? So I'm going to say, what's up back to you. What up? Obviously, I coached you in something. I don't know. What did I coach you in? Lacrosse? Football? I got to remember, y'all have these names. I don't know who you are, but I love the interaction, though. Tell more people to interact. Now get into the actual dope-ass game, though. I can't wait for it. I personally think the storyline that's not talked about enough. Because, and again, you can call me whatever you want. Now, it's not racist. I don't know what you call it. It's just very interesting, the stories that people tell during the draft. Like, all of the shits are so sad. But one story that's not being talked about enough right now is the fact that both of these guys have fathers that are have been very, very active in their lives. They come from two-parent households. Now, I believe the Mahomes were divorced, but if you don't know about Jalen Hurts' dad is a coach. And I think, during a month where everybody the reason why I talk about Black fatherhood so much, to be honest with you, if people didn't act like Black fathers were unicorns or CGI, y'all would not know who the fuck my sons are until they became scholar athletes. But I feel the need to have to show you guys that there are a lot of Black men that are actually actively participating in their kids' lives. And these are two men that are doing a phenomenal job. Jalen Hurts' father, but Patrick Mahomes' dad. Now, personally, I'm gonna tell you what the kind of dad I'm gonna be if my sons make it to a championship or to a Super Bowl, and you put a camera in front of my face, and you guys can say, "Oh, you're so well spoken on First Coast Final." Oh, James, you do such a great job when you throw your suit on. And you change. It's called code switching. Like I have to know how to do it. But in my natural form, I am Pat Mahomes Sr. If you play Pat Mahomes, because this is what my father would have done too. If he would have if Florida State would have won a national championship and he would have been able to get on the sideline, this is what my dad would have done. Dad probably still do this shit.
You got a cigar on your own, I see.
Yeah, I'm smoking this Joe Burrow.
You smoking on the Joe Burrow?
I'm smoking on Joe Burrow.
How's it feel to be headed back to Super Bowl?
It feels great, you know. My baby boy did what he always do. You know, he gonna show up and show out, and I'm just glad he did it.
Hey, listen, Pops was lit. He was tipsy. He's proud of his son. I'm smoking on that Joe Burrow. What you doing, Pop? I'm smoking on that Joe Burrow. Smoking on that Joe Burrow. You know, my baby boy doing what he always do. His Doug Dizzle, his goddamn thing. I love that. I might just, that's good. I like Joe Burrow, right? Joe Burrow likes what I like, black women. He likes what I like, cigars. Joe Burrow drinks. Joe Burrow is a person I would love to have a beer with. He's a dog, man. You gotta love it. Like, I like Joe Burrow. I like Joe Burrow. But we gotta get this sound. Just like I remember, I gotta send you the Drewski thing because my friend reminded me. And keep guarding. That's what Chris, you missed a great opportunity. Chris, my bad. What I meant to tell y'all is, y'all know what not to do. You send that fucking text message or email to me, I'm gonna cuss your ass off. Remember, I get paid by alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They already knew who the fuck I was before they even signed up. I'm not gonna be racist, but you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. But what Chris should have told her was that Drewski, hey man, I'm gonna keep doing my thing and keep guarding it. Keep God first in your life. Fuck boy. That's what he should have said. We gotta get that sound, but or girl, fuck you. Die today. Chris can't say that because Chris is like with the real NBC guy. Like not Chris Sporadics, Chris, but Chris Porter, my guy Chris Porter. Oh man, Jaden, again, another continuation. Jaden, as you heard here on Sports Den, Jaden Rashada was going to commit to Arizona State. We talked about that beginning of January. Now, Will Fong and them guys put their balls in. So, like, now you guys all believe it, and then he just signed his letter of intent. So, congratulations to that. We'll talk more about all of that anyways. We'll get more Super Bowl coverage. I'm going to be there all fucking week. We got a Friday show. I'm telling you, go become a member. Minimum to $3.99. Miles is going to be mad because he's going to probably be working a lot. I'm literally going to be videotaping every aspect of it. You never know what's going to happen. When I went to one of the Super Bowls I went to, we were the first ones to see Kodak Black and hang out when he got out of jail. Went viral. I didn't get anything from that. So instead of me going viral, I'm putting it into the channel. So go become a member. $3.99 is the lowest membership. If you go to the 100 one, you're going to get some free swag, free opportunities. Oh, and the $100 one, you get free access to all events that I host. So if you want to come to an event at Goodfellas, you want to come to a tailgate, you want to get some tickets to games, you want to get some other shit. And that's actually probably how I'm going to start giving tickets away. So if you want some dope-ass FSU tickets, some dope-ass Jag tickets, you want to meet players, you want me to send people. If you're one of the members, if you're a den mate, we're going to make sure you get over there, you get that access. So just check that out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The NFL is consistently filled. Every day, I'm more and more afraid of CTE. And this is 8 o'clock brought to you by Green Acre Sporting Goods. Green Acre Sporting Goods is a go-to shop for all outdoors things. You need to get your fishing rods. You need to get boats. You get safes. But obviously, they sell guns and weapons and all kinds of other different things. They got the AR-15, the one that I've shot before. I personally own. I own a little bit different model than this one, but it's $399. Go tell them Big Game sent you. I don't know. they'll say what's up. They'll say thank you. But like, I need you guys to go there. Go just check them out. If nothing else, especially with this new law in the state of Florida, it's going to be a ton of lawsuits. Guys, don't go crazy. Florida's still supposed to be going permitless. I promise you, it's not what you think, guys. You don't have a, but go take the gun safety course. That old white man is going to tell you the truth about guns and gun ownership. And they do. That's the best thing about Green Acres, is that they actually walk you through the process. They're not going to let you leave with something that you're ill-equipped for. So go check them out. Get the scope on it, though. Get that scope with the little. I got the green laser and the red laser. I don't even know. I could just feel festive. I feel like Christmas in that bitch when I'm shooting. So like, again, our house is very 2A friendly, by the way. And shout out, speaking of that, man, I had a friend get jammed up. They took all my man's guns. No, he had a permit. Some bitch lied on him and said she felt threatened, and they just came and cased my guy up. They can do that. And you know where he's at? He's in a gun-friendly state. So again, people, know your laws, know your rights. Make sure you do it the right way. But if we can play with Arian Foster, running backs or some players, I believe, have smooth brains. It's the only way to explain it. Like, if you look at right now, the running back position is the most affected out of all of these. We saw Herschel Walker, who almost won an election until he started talking about werewolves. That was like the one thing you could. Werewolves is what turned people away. He was good until he started bringing up werewolves and vampires and shit. Larry Johnson believes every conspiracy theory. If you go follow him, he's a spooky motherfucker. Arian Foster here is going down the Larry Johnson mode of thinking, and it's hilarious, and at the same time, it's just perpetuating stupid shit. But go ahead, push play on that video.
It's funny, before we started taping, Arian was telling me about how the NFL is rigged and how every year he used to get a script.
Yeah.
Day one of training camp that would get dropped off at his locker. And you would have to, it was like week 1, you'll do this. Week 2, you're going to have a hamstring injury. Week 3, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Week 4, you're going to get 3 touchdowns. And so then you just have to, did you memorize those before the season started? Would you go and rehearse the script before every game?
We're really dedicated to it. So it was more so like, that's what practice was about. It was about practicing the script. Like, this is what goes on and this is what we have to do in order to,
And this referee is going to miss this call.
Yeah,
because they hate you and they love the Colts, that
it's
sort of thing.
WWF, so it's like, you know, we know what's going to happen, but you still got to put on a show.
Yeah.
What did you think when you got the script in 2016 that said your career was going to fall off a cliff when you stopped believing in God?
That was 2015.
Yeah.
It's funny, before we started taping,
the craziest thing about today is social media,
and how
and I don't want us to get out of that, Miles.
Day one of training camp,
get out the video
dropped off at
and
his
then
locker.
go back to the tweet, and I want to push the quote tweets because there is some. It is gold in the quote tweets, but like the way social media is set up right now, this could completely be satire. And if you scroll down, this could be completely just click on the quote tweets. Where in the middle, like go up to where the tweet is, and right there. You click on that, go down. You got Riley. So this is people in the quote tweets are saying what people's responses would be to like some of the endings. So this is Dan Orlowski just was so good at his acting out his script. He did this. But go down to the Riley Cooper in memory of my guy. Everybody hates my guy Marcus Stokes, who committed to West Florida. Hopefully they didn't take it out. This is Riley Cooper right here. This is right when he got his script to the NFL. Push the video so we can get this out. I know it's gonna be something crazy. Just the go down, scroll down a little bit more. Get Ray Lewis practice on his 1999-2000 season. Just go down one more. That's right. Murder Ray. They got I can't find the one with Lil Wayne, but oh God, they got Tom Brady. They got Tom Brady saying, "I'm not leaving." Every year practicing his script. It's just They got some doozies. If you go check that tweet out, man, just look at the quote tweets. They got Trevor Lawrence like, ooh, when he read the script for the playoff game, for the first round of the playoff game. Like, it was
Tom Brady getting the script for the after getting drafted.
it's just like it's so crazy. Like for the way he detailed it was just silly, man. It's just like because there's a human element to it. Even though I do believe that referees can be molded. Like I'm not like, referees are fallible. They're humans. So like they just but like I promise you, like I don't remember getting the script. I might not, maybe only give it to the good players. But they definitely they'll probably just say this is in jest. They won't take it down. It's just so funny, like some of the things that people believe, man. Just that. Keeping into the hatred of like one of the things that we love to have, and we got to probably start bringing this back now that it's not slow because the off season is actually very busy, but there aren't games around. So like, we'll talk about moments in history, Black History Month. Actually, like, yeah, we're gonna do like I remember I did this Black History Month. Did one for Willie Taggart, honoring Willie Taggart, the finesse god. Stealing the most money from the state of Florida. But if you go to the MFTK thing on our list, Miles, I don't know why this chick got fired, even though it is dumb. One thing you should never do is pretend to be a child. Doesn't work out for you. In particular, if I went out and I tried to compete with kids when I was 22-year-old, when I was 20, well, I was playing in the league at 22. When I was 23, if I went out and decided to go play in a live football game, I'd probably get arrested. In particular, if I played JV. This is something that proves that sometimes that even though me and Joe Burrow share our love of Black women, they are irrational creatures at times. I have no idea what this young African American sister was thinking, but our first MFTK of Black History Month is going to honor her and her stupid decision to go play a JV basketball game. If we can listen to the audio for this, it's she impersonated a 13-year-old. It's like the reverse of Robert Kelly.
Assistant coach on the team named Arlisha Boykins impersonated a 13-year-old player on the team that was out of town for a club basketball tournament. Here's video from that game. Churchland is in the black uniforms. Number one right there that just came up with the black block shot. We're told that as Arlisha Boykins. They were taking on Nansman River. This video has been edited to show you some of the highlights. Arlisha is apparently a 22-year-old young woman going up against 14 and 15-year-old girls. Now, we have confirmed that Boykins is no longer an employee of Portsmouth Public Schools. And since this game, the student athletes on the team and parents decided to just end the season. They will not be playing any more games this year. Portsmouth Public Schools did launch an investigation into this matter. The details have not been revealed by officials quite yet. Now, I spoke with an assistant coach on the team named Arlisha Boykins impersonated a 13-year-old player on the team that was out of town for a club basketball.
Like, why?
Tournament. Here's video from that game.
Are you like, were they short a player? And like they just, or were they just that bad? And she was just like, all right, I gotta take it up a notch. Like, I'm competitive and I want to win. But like, I wonder if they'll let me do that at I-9. If I could just line up and just play, just for a spoof. I don't want to do it for real. The game doesn't have to count. We can forfeit. I'm gonna tell them I actually want to forfeit this game, but I want to play. And like, I'm just over there impersonating a 9-year-old on my son's team, so that we can win the championship in flag football.
All the other kids had to pretend like they didn't know that was their coach.
And that's what I'm tripping about. At what point, we talked about this on Monday's show. At what point are kids complicit?
Yeah, for real.
How young is too young to know right from wrong? Is 14 years old not old enough to know that a 20? See, this is why we. Oh Lord, this is why conversations need to be had. People love to talk about, oh my God, they're 14, 15. Like, man, I got news for you, dog. I was fucking at 14, 15, man, and older women. Because I look like I was a grown-ass man at 14, 15. Even though I look at myself now, I'm like, damn, I look like a baby. But compared to, like, I look like I was a 20, 21-year-old at that time, especially from my stature, how tall I was, my musculature, especially when I was 15. When I got my man muscles, I got a little chest, trust me. I always hear women say stuff like, you don't know what it's like to have women or men grow up. I said, man, my mama's friends were talking about, used to say shit like, I can't wait till you get grown. Like, that's not, but nowadays that's pedophile shit. I ain't gonna lie. When I was young, I was curious. Like, I'm not Tyler Perry. I was not none of those things. It's just like I can look at my boys right now. I probably can tell you that the odds are very, very high. They're going to be straight masculine men. They like girls. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But right now, if I knew my coach, if you just showed me how to do the 3-man weave yesterday, I know you're not supposed to be playing in the game with me. I've played enough organized sports to know that this is wrong. The kids knew it was wrong. And you know who else knew it was wrong? The parents. And you know what happened with Arlisha? Arlisha didn't get in trouble until somebody else on the other team said, God damn it, I need to see your birth certificate. Because that's what they always do. Now, parents on the other team, you were right this time, but stop being a hater. Dealing with that shit my whole life, man. You know how hard it is when you're 10 years old and 6 foot? And everybody's saying, he ain't 10. That's a grown man. And I'm like, bitch, I just got done watching Rugrats. I just ate a whole bowl of Captain Crunch, man. Of course I'm young. And I'm still hungry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't, you know, whatever, man. Arlisha embodies the spirit of MFTK. She was fired. I can't give you any money, but anybody who knows Arlisha in the Virginia area, please tell her I would love to send her an MFTK hat for her troubles. Now, to finish off the show, we're going to, oh, damn, we got to talk about schedule. What time is it? How much time I got? 10, 15 minutes? 7. Oh, shit. All right, cool. We may go over a little bit, but recruiting is wild. If you click on the thing, I want the video. And one of the cool things about kids, too, I'm one of those guys too, is that they'll show you what they're thinking. They will like click on the guy in the orange. And this is Mike Rumpf. I think that's his name, but he's just the cornerbacks coach at the University of Miami. And let's just listen, take a gander at what he's about recruiting and like his who doesn't want to be in Miami. And this is just not masculine at all.
This is a lifetime. Who doesn't want to be in Miami? All right. This ain't Tuscaloosa. Well, Sundays, Saturdays might be great, but Tuesday.
That's the start. That's a quarterback commit from Alabama.
What do you mean by that? Thursday, you still in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. No offense to them.
Let's play the beginning of that one more time.
This is a lifetime. Who doesn't want to be in Miami? All right. This ain't Tuscaloosa. Well, Sundays, Saturdays might be
when
great.
He says it, he doesn't even sound convincing. Like, he's like, yeah, you know, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Who wouldn't want to be?
Who doesn't want to be in Miami?
I mean, this ain't Tuscaloosa or Saturday. Like, the whole point of playing college football is to win, so you can go to the NFL. Like, you know, this is Miami. You want to be here. Like, you know, Saturday might be cool in Tuscaloosa because y'all win the games, but you know, here it's cool all the time. We may not win no football games, but you're gonna have a good time. Y'all, Miami fans need to stop the buffoonery. Don't nobody know you in Miami. And location don't matter when you're the sorriest team. Miami is like LA. If you're not winning, nobody cares. You right now, you have the Heat, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Florida Panthers, I'm trying to think of another team. Probably the lacrosse team that's down there. Every other high school are all more important than the Miami Hurricanes. You had one sellout for a quarter. And that was against Florida State, and then we beat your ass to sleep. That's what you should be saying. I get it. I know why you want to go to Tuscaloosa. Saturdays is cool, but we need you over here so that we don't get our ass beat 45-3. Look at my corners. They're getting roasted. Roasted like Lance Legette's peanuts, one of your former wide receivers that sells peanuts are actually pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie to you. But like recruiting is wild. Nothing more to it than today's National Signing Day, and it's annoying what people are doing with recruiting. If you go, I think it's in the next thing with that, Miles. Oh no, actually I didn't post it up there. Shucks. Oh yeah, if you go to the signing day thing, go to where it says signing day. Like this video, I want to, because a lot of y'all are literal, and I don't want to letter. This is how recruits are. They're not getting arrested, but this is how recruits look when you beat writers are in their face. Now this is the weird part. This is as weird as a 22-year-old playing against JV basketball players. Is when you 40-year-old men are sitting in the dark waiting to talk to these recruits when they're on visits, and they just want to go home. They want to mind their own business. They want to do all this other. They want to do fun shit like get with the girls and people or hang out with people their age. But y'all got the cameras in their face, and this is what they want to say to you, but they're afraid. So me and the fake Kodak Black looking kid will say it for you.
Get out my face.
Were you in Walmart that night that the shooting happened?
Man, get out my face.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the victim's family?
Man, bro, tell get out my face.
Why were you at the Walmart?
Man, get out my face.
Hey, we're just trying to ask you some questions.
Man, I
If you want to
told
say
you I don't
anything
like
before you
these
go to
cameras
jail.
bro. And you laying on getting my face.
There's nothing you want to say? Do you want to say anything to your family?
That's not cool, bro. I told you get them folk out my face. Y'all still in my face.
Is there door cameras?
This is how they are. They be harassing these young boys, asking them all kind of questions about where you're gonna go, where you want to spend the next 4 years of your life. Man, get out of my face, dog. I've been in this 2-hour meeting with these coaches lying to me, talking about how I'm gonna be I'm the missing piece for them winning the championship. Last thing I want to do is come talk to y'all. Y'all been calling me all day. We talked about the schedule a little bit, and I'll talk about that maybe on Friday. We'll break down the University of Miami, University of Florida State schedule, things like this. But another great podcast is Club Shay Shay. Even though Shannon Sharp been tripping, he still does a good job with his podcast. He had one of my favorite people on, Chad Ocho Cinco, formerly known as Chad Johnson, of not the pivot, my bad, of I Am Athlete podcast. Probably a guy who needs to have a camera in his face more, but a guy who, again, a lot of you people misunderstood when he was playing, much like Marshawn Lynch. He's probably one of the most fiscally responsible people, and he has some really, really good advice that I try to give young athletes all the time, including myself. You are the brand. Be the brand. And what happens is whatever you wear, whatever you rock, whatever you embody, people are going to want to be that too. Hell, look at me doing my White Mike impersonation right now. I feel great. I got the Mike Norvell sweater. I feel amazing, like a winner. Like I can do anything. I'm calling it my Philippians 4:13 sweater. Sweatshirt. I can do all things through Mike who strengthens me. But if we play the Chad Johnson clip, and it's just some good jewels of wisdom in here that I think a lot of people in our ultra materialistic society need to pay attention to.
I wish. How do you?
So like now he goes
express
into
that
talking
to
about
your
like, you know,
kids when they know who you are.
It's levels to what he's
They
talking
know
about
what you
with
have.
this. And this is an alpha male moment. And by Alpha Male Jack's Clinic. Go out there. Real alphas don't have to declare that they're alphas. They don't. It just comes out of you. It exudes in you. But sometimes you need that confidence. You look good, feel good, fuck good. This is what you got to do with Alpha Male Jacks. You come in, you do full blood panels, make sure that you're checked out, make sure everything's going well, make sure your life is trending in the right direction so that you can have confidence to become the brand that's bigger than anything that you can buy. And you can get that feeling and that vibe from Alpha Male Jacks. Go to alphamalejacks.com to check out more and see more what they have available. But Chad Johnson gave me my biggest amen corner. There's something I've been giving you guys is the best piece of dating advice that Big Game has ever given to anybody, and I could give to all of you guys. in a world, and I tell athletes this, and I've tried to tell people that battles in all the places that, you know, try to get these kids at financial advisors and planners and all this other shit that they really don't need. What you need is somebody who's been there, that's made it, that can tell you how to adequately splurge on a budget. It's called balling on a budget. Y'all see me with these videos. It's like right now, and I've learned this as I've gotten into different places. I've learned about companies having expense accounts. A lot of these people that y'all see learn from Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Curtis Jackson is broke. 50 Cent is rich. It's a difference. 50 Cent is a business entity, so a lot of that you have to spend or you're going to be taxed on it. But there are things that I will never do, and Chad Johnson talked about it. The women already know who you are. If I ever in a situation where I had a date, I'm big game. You knew who I was. Bitch, you knew who I was when you came up to me. If I were in a situation where I'm around a bunch of guys, we already know who we are. I don't feel the need to have to flex with you. I don't need to have a measuring contest. Plus, I got friends who are really rich and famous. My mama used to tell me, don't have a measuring contest unless you got a 12-inch penis. Then you know you're going to win most of the time. Imagine me flexing and my boy Benji Brown is a national comedian. I can't sell out shows. Imagine me doing some of this other stuff. Imagine me flexing on people like I'm the best football player to ever play at Florida State because I'm better than you. And Peter Warrick's like one of my really good friends. Who Peter Warrick is one of the few people who make me invisible. But Chad Johnson brought up this big piece of advice. If I am out with a woman, and the beautiful thing is when I posted this on IG, I know how my real female friends are going to respond. And they responded the right way. And I know the ones who really are always complaining about men ain't shit, they responded in a certain way. I said, I will take you to the first date. I refuse to spend $500 on a first date. First date's checkers. If she can't eat checkers, she can't eat Ruth Chris. Now, that doesn't mean I spent $100 on crab legs yesterday. I wish I didn't, but I was hungry and I was ill-advised. But the point is that I don't mind spending money. I'll splurge. But the reality is, you know, if I know she can eat checkers, that means she down for the trap. That means if I'm in a bind, I know she got my back. Actually, Joe Budden, did you see the Joe Budden podcast where they all called their girls? And they were just like, baby, I'm short on the rent. I need some money. Can you give me? Joe Budden, they all thought that their girls weren't going to be good. Only one person's girl was just like, what's wrong? Ask her, like, what you know, like asking 1,000 questions. Every other woman immediately said, baby, I got you, whatever you need. If she won't go to Checkers or Rallies or McDonald's or Wendy's, eat a 4 for $4 on the first date, bro, she is sizing you up for your money. But remember the advice of Chad Johnson. Be the brand that is bigger than anything you can buy. Be who you are. She knew who you was before she met you. I always joke with some people. I'm like, man, you can look at my sneakers and tell that I don't mind spending money. But Chad Johnson posted, he knew his fiance was the one when he took her to McDonald's for the first date and she didn't mind. Telling you, man, when I saw a financial advisor say a $500 first date ain't shit, that was the day I knew he could never advise anything that I have. Not a $500 date. I have no problem with a $500 date. I have a problem with a $500 first date. Only broke people are infatuated with showing other broke people how rich they are. A lot of the stuff that we think, like, and then like I'm looking at my homegirl, Shannon. We had her on the show when we were talking about NIL. She talked about why she's ex-military and had plenty worse days and meals than Mickey D's. And my friend is a dime, a 10 out of 10. And then she quotes Rick Ross. This is how you know. So fellas, she's single. Shannon Legan, she's a good lawyer. You know, come right now. But go at That's My Lawyer on IG. Go find her. She put day one Philippe. I'm thinking Wingstop. Peanut lemon pepper. I got my thing caught. I was like, man, she's quoting Rick Ross. That's a keeper. That's the woman that you want. My homegirl Andrea, my homegirl Africa, my homegirl, like a lot of my girls, they actually have, some of them have relationships that a lot of y'all crave to have. You know what they don't mind? Fucking checkers. So some of y'all out here requesting the best of the best, you're getting the worst of the worst in every other aspect of your life. Go miss your blessing. Not trying to get that 2 for $7.77 over at Checkers. That shit is delicious, bro. Sorry. Don't know what to tell you. But again, alpha males don't feel the need to be alpha. Now, this is what I will say. If you go click on this, this isn't alpha, and this is comments toward spring game. Florida State had a winning season, guys. National Signing Day was in December. It's the last link. Just click the last link. And click on the first one, and then we'll go back to the quote tweet. Yeah, Jordan. I'm using these guys because they're my guys. Jordan Takeoff puts out a tweet, and the tweet has no context. It's two things that you can think about my guy with this tweet. Either he doesn't know anything about football, which he does, or he's just trolling and he's bored and it's Wednesday and he's light-skinned and he needs to be upset about something. National Signing Day used to mean something for me. Like every school in America hasn't had their early signing, their class done. There's 8 blue chip prospects left in the nation. Like 8 out of 100, 8 out of like 50 schools that can compete for these guys. Our class is fucking done. There was nothing to look forward to. You have bitched all year. This is the best Florida State's had since 2016. And you're bitching about National Signing Day, a day that you don't even get to participate in. That's not alpha. Now click on this other one, which is the quote tweet that we had in there, which is from a boy, Sam. You can just it's one of them quote tweets. Yeah, no. You're right there. Yeah, that one. And Sam with the passive aggressive thing, which is true. Very few people are happy about this signing. We just snatched some shit from North Texas. Relax, fam. What's not alpha is to stay in this method acting shit that y'all do. It's okay to change. Even in movies and TV, guys, it's called a character arc. They progress. They do more. Be more, guys. We won 10 games. Everybody talking about we have a chance to win the ACC and the national championship next year. We'll have the best roster that we've had in over a decade. Since we won the national championship. And you guys upset about, I'm gonna put it like this because this is what it is. You're upset that little boys ain't signed to your imaginary favorite school. Hell, one of them guys allegedly has family that's a part of it. His ass ain't signed shit today either. It's crazy because Take is the one who Take been so wrong about Florida State this season. And I'll get his pride is so, like, I didn't realize he bet my boy CJ. He wouldn't bet me because I bet big. I said Take. Take was like, man, we finna lose to LSU. LSU gonna whoop our ass. LSU. I said, well, and I asked him, who does he fear? He named 5 players that made absolutely no impact on the season, not just their game, on the fucking season. I said, that shows me you've never paid attention to LSU. Like, one of the guys had 300 yards career receiving at that point. So I said, I'd be damned if I feared. One of them was the running back who had 500 yards rushing, less than our leading and returning rusher. And Josh Corbin was the one who went to the NFL the previous year. I asked him how much you make in a month. He told me how much he made in a month. I said, bet. I bet you that. Nah, OG, it ain't that simple. Why your old heads want to do that? Why are you selling out so hard? If you believe that passionately about something, that's a lick. I'll tell you what, if I know, you know why I bet the money? Because I knew we was going to win. If I didn't think we were going to win, you know what I wouldn't have done? I wouldn't have bet the money. So that means, then that's the problem with some of y'all. And this is why we blame the young kids, but it's the old heads. It's you. Y'all are acting like this, and this is what the kids are thinking in school. This is why my son is going. My sons, I will have to teach them to be bullies because y'all are procreating and putting stuff out in the world. Don't need this shit, man. You can always say I was wrong and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm wrong. There's nothing wrong with even like saying you're at least my boy Grimes is willing to say, I'm cool with where we're at right now. We'll take it on a year-by-year basis. That's progress. But this trope, this character that you're playing, this Tupac character that you're playing, but of bitch assness on Twitter is not cool. I expect more from you guys. You guys are good men. Be better. Love y'all. And go listen to Listen Up podcast. My guy Sam, that's his podcast. It's a dope-ass podcast. But Sam know what he be doing. Sam, we can give you help to keep getting your viewers up without you having to go that direction. On that note, man, we'll talk about schedule releases. We'll talk about more random shit on Friday. We'll talk about how you can do stuff. But please help become a member. Check it out. We're going to drop some interesting content, unique content all next week. And appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. See you next time.